Hi girls, I hope you're having a good Friday. Today we're going to continue working on the worksheet we started in class, this one. If you forgot to bring it home, it's also on Google Classroom under this week's topic, so you can find it there. So just a quick recap of what we were talking about in class. We were talking about the group of complainers that started complaining and got Hashem so upset that he sent a fire to start burning the edge of the camp. So what made Hashem so mad? What made Hashem so upset about this complaint? You guys read this Rashi in class, so let me just summarize it again in case anybody forgot. But basically, not forgot, but check your answers or if you didn't get to it. But basically, what Rashi is saying is that their complaint, what Hashem didn't like about what they were saying, is their general attitude. Because what did they say? They said, Oy lanu, oh no, woe to us, poor us. כמה לבטנו בדרך הזה 3 ימים. How tired we've become in this journey for 3 days. We haven't rested. Oh, poor us. It's this general self-pity and negative attitude that Hashem didn't appreciate, Hashem didn't want. No one is saying that being in the Midbar, the journeying through the desert, is an easy thing to do. That's it wasn't easy. However, the attitude is what makes such a big difference. Like we talked about in class, when you're going through something hard, having a positive attitude about it can make all the difference. And all it takes sometimes is just one person, one negative person, one negative comment to just ruin the entire atmosphere. So that's what Hashem was really upset about. It's this, not just, it was ungrateful of their part because they've just come out of this, not this most amazing place, Bnei Israel, but it's more of the self-pity and negative attitude that Hashem was very upset about. Which brings us to question 2. Who were the people that complained? Who are these people that started this complaint? So let's look at the Rashi. Hopefully you guys did this in class too. I think most of you got to it, but if not, just follow along with me. So let me just bring the phone to the Chuma. Okay, so we are talking about the Rashi. Let me get my pencil. The Rashi. Oh, I lost my place. Right here. These words, Elu Erev Rav. These are the words that tell us who are these people. Erev Rav. Now, who is the Erev Rav? Who are these people that started complaining? They weren't the general public of Bnei Israel. Who were they? So if you remember, when Bnei Israel left Mitzrayim, there was a group of Mitzrim, a group of Egyptians that saw Hashem's miracles, that saw everything Hashem did for Bnei Israel, and they said to themselves, you know what? We want to go with these people. We realize what amazing protection they have from Hashem. We realize the great miracles that their God did, that Hashem did, that we want to be part of these people. So they joined the journey along with Bnei Israel. But among them, there were some that didn't genuinely believe in Hashem. And when times got a little rough, their true feelings about the journey came out, because when times got a little tough, instead of saying, you know what, just like Hashem did all the miracles for the Jewish people in Mitzrayim when they were slaves, we believe that he's going to make life fine for us in the desert, and we're going to get through this journey and we're going to be okay. Instead, when things got tough, they started complaining and they started saying, Oy lanu, woe to us. And not only that, what was really disturbing is that Rashi, let me bring you back to the Rashi. Rashi also says that among the Erev Rav that were complaining and punished as well were this word right here, Ktzinim. Ktzinim are high officers in the army. And Uvagdolim, the great people, the leaders. And I think this is a very important point to think about, because if their leaders, the officers in the army, the people that others look up to, have a negative attitude, then what's everyone else going to think? Right? When you're a leader, when you're in a position of power, you have to set the right tone. You have to set the tone of positivity. And these people did just the opposite. And that was so upsetting to Hashem. So for number 2, right here, you guys can write who were the people that complained. They were the Erev Rav, the people that came out of Mitzrayim with the Jewish people, and especially among them their officers and their great people. So the Erev Rav, let me just spell it out for you in case. Erev Rav, I'll just show you those 2 words, and then you guys can continue the answer on your own. But this is the Erev Rav. That's how you spell it. All right, moving on. Let's turn a page. So we spoke a little bit about why Hashem was upset with their complaint. And, we gave one answer, that Hashem didn't like their negative attitude. Hashem didn't like the atmosphere they're setting of self-pity. Woe to us, this is so hard. Now, if we know that these people are the Erev Rav, they're not the Jewish people that were slaves, we can kind of understand a little bit why they might think that this journey is difficult, right? Bnei Israel were slaves just like not that long ago. They came out of really hard, intense labor. They were mistreated. They had a very, very hard life in Mitzrayim. So to them, a journey in the desert as free people might not seem so hard. The Erev Rav, however, these were the Egyptians that came out of Egypt with Bnei Israel. So we can understand why they thought a journey in the desert might be hard. However, their mistake was that if they really believed in Hashem and really came with the Jewish people through the desert, knowing that Hashem is going to take care of the Jewish people just like He took care of them when He took them out of Mitzrayim, then they shouldn't have been complaining. Now, another reason Hashem was upset is, I'm going to read right here in this worksheet, so please follow along with me. Ani hayiti mitkaven letovatam. Hopefully you recognize, the word ani, right? We all recognize. Hayiti is like haya, but in past tense. I was mitkaven letovatam. Even if you don't know the word mitkaven, you should know the word letovatam. Lamed as a tchilit means for, tovatam, for their good. So what's he saying here? Mitkaven means I had the intention, I was intending. Hashem was saying, I made you walk for 3 days straight already. Why? Ani hayiti mitkaven letovatam. I had good intentions for them in mind. What were my good intentions? Shetikansu la'aretz miyad. That you should enter Eretz Israel immediately, quickly, now. Hashem made them, didn't have them camping for a long time because He wanted them to get to Eretz Canaan as quickly as possible. But instead of seeing that, instead of understanding that Hashem has His reasons for having them walk so much, straight in a row, immediately they jump to negative thoughts. So they should have realized that Hashem had something in mind, right? Hashem, there's a plan for everything. Even if something seems odd or doesn't make sense, Hashem has a reason. So Hashem here was saying, I'm upset because I made them walk so much so they get there faster. But instead, what do? They complain with a ton of self-pity. Oh, Ilanu, woe to us. Which brings us to question 4. What was their punishment? Do you guys remember that from the Psukim? Pasuk Aleph says, Vativ'ar bam esh Hashem, and the fire of Hashem burned among them. Vatochal biktzeh hamachane, and was consuming the edge of the camp. That was our punishment. Let's do question 5. What did these people do to stop the plague? That's also we read together in class. This is in Pasuk Bet. I'm just reading to remind you. Va'itzak ha'am el Moshe. And the people, the nations, cried out. They called out to Moshe, Moshe, help us. Look what's happening. There's a fire burning in our camp. Now Rashi is giving a little more explanation for the people's reaction. Why did they call out to Moshe? Why not just go straight to Hashem? Dive into Hashem. We're sorry, Hashem. We're not going to complain anymore. We're going to have a great attitude. Why did they go through Moshe? So let's look at the Rashi. Let me just see. It's Pasuk Bet. Dibur Matril Va'itzak. All right. Give me a second. So we are looking for Pasuk Bet right here. Vayitzak ha'am el Moshe right here. Mashal. Rashi is going to give us a mashal, a parable. Lemelech basar vadam. He's comparing this to a flesh and blood king, a human king. See, melech, basar, flesh, vedam, and blood. Sheka'as al bno, that was angry at his son. Vehalach haben etzel ohavo shel aviv. And the son, the word haben, and the son, halach, he went, etzel ohavo shel aviv. He went to his father's friend, ohavo, somebody that's close to his dad, somebody that his dad loves and appreciates and listens to usually. Ve'amar lo, and said to his dad's, close, whether it be friend, advisor, family member, but somebody that's his dad trusts and his dad is close to. And he asked him, Tse uvakesh alai me'aba. Please go and ask pity for me from my father. And I know, at least me, when I was a kid, younger, I had this happen all the time. If I did something wrong and I was so scared to go to my dad and tell him what I did, and I was so scared to find out the punishment, I would send my cute little baby sister to be like, hey, can you go talk to Abba and just, tell him that I, was so nice to you and I helped you with your homework so he's not as angry at me. Or maybe I would send my mom and I'd be like, hey, Ima, can you just kind of explain this away so I don't get a big punishment? And, you guys may have similar situation. But this is the mashal, this is the parable that Rashi is giving. Why did Bnei Israel call out? They kind of went to a middleman, to Moshe, to appease Hashem, to say, hey, Hashem, I know you're angry at Bnei Israel, but, let's calm down. Let's think of maybe why they were complaining, just to kind of ease the punishment a little bit. So that's the answer to question 5. And look at that. We have one more question in the worksheet and we're done. So let's do it. What was this place called and why? That you can see it says it's found in Perek Yud Aleph, Pasuk Gimel. So I'm just going to read Pasuk Gimel. Va'ikra Shem hamakom hahu, and the name of this place was called Tav'era. Why was it called Tav'era? Ki va'ara vam Esh Hashem. It's all comes from the same shoresh. Bet, ein, resh, va'ar. Tav'era comes from the same shoresh. Va'ar, which means to burn or consume. That's what happens to a fire. So why is it called Tav'era? Because the fire of Hashem, va'ara, was burning, was consuming the camp there. So it's kind of like a reminder, this is what happens when you cross the line. So let me just show you how to write it. You're going to write that, let me write it, then I'll point my phone to it. This is called Tav'era from the shoresh va'ar, and I will let you guys explain it in your own words. Let me just show. Whoops, sorry. Everything's falling. Sorry about that. Literally everything was falling. Okay, tav'era from the shoresh ba'ar, which means to consume. All right, guys, good work, good job. Please remember that you have a drill to complete also. It's already posted on Google Classroom. And with that, I will wish you a Shabbat Shalom, a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday, because some of you on Tuesday, because Monday is Martin Luther King Day, and the rest of you on Wednesday, I guess. All right, have a wonderful weekend.